Watchers 3 was released direct-to-video in 1994 and stars the always legendary Wings Hauser. It's an average horror flick that comes off as a low-budget Predator ripoff.
5 of you. Yourself, a guide, 3 others, all prisoners, all ex-special forces will fly in, recover what's left, documents, survivors, fly yourselves to our base in Panama. In return, the government's prepared to grant each team member an unconditional pardon, reinstatement with complete back pay, and reassignment to the base of the individual's choice. That's it. Free and clear, Major.
A top-secret experiment spawns 2 highly intelligent and telepathically linked life forms. Einstein, a golden retriever with an IQ of 175, and the Outsider, a deformed monster that exists to kill. When Einstein and the Outsider are released into a South American jungle, 4 ex-military convicts are sent into the area to recover info and clean up the mess. They soon find themselves involved in a government experiment and team up with Einstein to take out the Outsider. Watchers 3 is a below-average entry into the series. I like where the franchise went with this one by showing us how the experiment would work in an actual wartime jungle. It made sense to set the 3rd film in that kind of setting. Every Watchers film has been pretty different, and I appreciate that the sequels aren't just repeats of the previous movies. This one has an even lower budget than the previous 2, and the Outsider looks more insect this time. It reminds me of David Cronenberg's The Fly. The monster isn't very scary looking and is seen in daylight way too often. It also doesn't have much of a personality as the monster in Part 2. In the 2nd film, we actually got to focus on the monster's personality and insecurities quite a bit, which helped differentiate it from the first movie.
Einstein. Thought you were dead. Oh my God. All those men in McCready, that was you, wasn't it?
Watchers 3's action sequences are poorly staged. The film's first big action horse scene is edited and shot so sloppy that you can't tell what's going on. The film's death scenes are pretty lackluster as well, but we do get a nice decapitation. The effects are cheap and you can blame that on the low budget. The film's finale isn't too bad and is ripped straight out of Predator with Wings Hauser using booby traps to defeat the Outsider. The film definitely has a Predator vibe to it and you can tell they borrowed from it heavily.
What's wrong with me? You see, McCready, I got a daughter. She's about 22 years old, real pretty. She's been dodging dicks like you all of her life. And what's wrong with me is I'm a goddamn father. Now you shut up, boy. Now you put your hands on her one more time, and I'm gonna put a bullet so deep in your head, your ancestors are gonna feel it. You understand me? Now move your ass. We are not out of here yet. Let's move it.
Legendary B-movie actor Wings Hauser stars as Ferguson, taking over the role previously played by Mark Singer in Part 2. I don't know why they didn't just create a new character for Hauser. They could have just had Hauser be a character who worked with Einstein in the past. Hauser is entertaining in the lead and like always is a joy to watch. He's probably the saving grace of the film. Gregory Scott Cummings, who has popped up in a ton of my Monster Mash mini reviews, pops up again in Watchers 3. He's entertaining and does a fine job, but the rest of the cast is forgettable.
Nat Gomez, out of the trees, now!
Watchers 3's body count is pretty low, and the government subplot seems to be there to drag out the runtime. The film is a cliched run-the-mill monster on the loose movie that manages to be slightly entertaining thanks to Hauser. The dog doesn't do as much cool shit in this one compared to previous films. There's just not a lot of neat tricks the dog can do in the jungle, I suppose. It's a watchable flick that B-movie fans may like, and Watchers fans may find interesting.
Spring?
Black.
I'm black.
You're right. I'm white.
Yeah. Your move?
Check.
Well, it's a bitch being black, huh? Experiments with recombinant engineering, cutting and splicing genes, combining physical qualities and characteristics of various animals in order to manipulate aggression and increase strength.
Pig and elephant DNA just won't splice.
Shut him up, Puffer.
Shut the shit out of me. You did real good. You did real good.
God damn, this hurts.
Just calm down, calm down. I'm gonna get you out of here. I'll get you out of here.
You're gonna be okay. Say the goddamn words. You're gonna be okay.